Good evening, everyone. My name is Brady. This is Josh. This is Be All In Sports. We're coming back with another episode. We're going to look at some Week 11 action. We're taking a look at the noon games today, giving you our picks and predictions for that opening slate of games. We do plan on coming back later on, giving you a little new way to bet. We got some interesting things that we want to talk about. Just so happens that one of our sports books have opened up a new little wrinkle in their system, and we're going to kind of talk about that and see if we can do a little damage to that sports book through that new little system they got for us. Josh, what do you think, man? I know that we're pretty excited about talking about that later. Won't get too much into it, but I know that we're feeling it this week, right?
I'm pretty stoked about it. Yeah, it's a game changer. Love that word, whatever you want to call it. That it's a game changer. It's great. I'm looking forward to it, man. What's the first game we got on tap here?
Yeah, man, we got the 7-3 Ravens going to the Pittsburgh Steelers 7-2. Man, this is gonna be quite a game. I think the over/under set at 47.5. We got money line plus 150 for the Steelers, and we got a minus 175 for the Ravens, plus minus 3 spread. Man, I'll tell you what, I think this is a battle, not only interdivision battle, so these are usually always close, but I'm looking through this stuff, man, and I am seeing a battle of two very, very equal teams right now. Obviously, the Steelers, in my mind, kind of riding a little bit more of a hot streak with Russell coming back, getting a new little uptick in that offense, adding more of a passing element to the offense, along with that running game has been pretty lethal here recently. But then you look on the other side of the ball, what the Ravens do well, run the ball. But Lamar has continually proven me wrong. I called the interception for him last week, didn't get that one.
So close.
He had some moments. But overall, he's maintaining. He's not turning the ball over. And when I'm looking at these two teams, they both have a strong running game, but one of them may possibly be a little bit deficient. I'm seeing that Najee Harris is questionable. I don't necessarily know what the injury, or to the extent of what the injury is, but I'll monitor that as the week goes along. But I never like to hear that one of your main components of your offense is dinged up. I looked. Both of these teams have allowed the same amount of touchdowns to their opponents on the ground this year, which was 7. So I thought that was very interesting.
Obviously, that's a weird stat. That's a weird stat. Sorry,
it is
both the exact same amount. Okay, yeah, okay.
It is. And, when I was digging a little bit deeper, because I'm obviously looking at some main players, one of which is the ground game of the Ravens. How are they going to do this against the Steelers team that is pretty decent against the run? You look at it's not an elongated history, but if you look at the history that that the Ravens have against the Steelers, obviously close matches. I'm seeing that this is going to be more of a low scoring game in my eyes. I'm not seeing a bunch of points being put on the board here. Even when you're looking at Derrick Henry, he's played these guys twice in his career, and miraculously each time he has rushed 75 yards on the dot and a touchdown. I definitely can see him going over that mark in this one, even though I'm a big, but he usually sits in that 80, 83 range. And a team like this, I think that he can definitely hit that 75, go over it possibly. And obviously, I think he's going for the streak. I think we're looking at like 10 touchdowns this season for them. But I'll tell you what, you know how I like to pick against a team on a spread or on a streak. While I do think Steelers being at home, very, very tough place to play, I think that the Ravens are going to win this game. I think I'm I do like that spread bet on the side of the Steelers, but I'm just going to go money line Baltimore Ravens on this one. That is my pick, Ravens. What do you say, Josh?
Well, the Derrick Henry stats are amazing. I mean, the dude's scored a touchdown in every single game. Doesn't really happen hardly ever for anybody. I mean, Kyron Williams had a long streak too for the Rams. We get that. But he's going to – I think I like your point. He's going to get around 75 yards rushing if you want to put it on that. I really wouldn't feel comfortable betting that. Of course, we're here to make money. I don't like unsafe bets, if you will. No bet's safe. We get it. That's why they call it gambling. However, there are bets that are safer. With this game, what intrigues me the most is the defenses. The Steelers have one. The Ravens really don't, and from what I see. So I think I love the under in this game. These teams are always black and blue. They've had years in the past where they had good offenses, but they've always had good defenses. The Achilles heel of this Ravens defense, of this Ravens team, is their defense. And Kyle Hamilton is questionable. His ankle roll looked pretty bad last week, so I don't know if he plays. And even when he's in the lineup, you can throw all over this Ravens defense. They are not good against the pass. So I think the Steelers, even if Najee can't play, he's got an ankle injury, Jaylen Warren can pick up the slack. He's good enough. He's more explosive than Najee, first of all. And Steelers are at home. So I love the under in this game, 47.5. And I'll take plus 150 in the Steelers just because I think that the Steelers will be able to pass the ball on the Ravens more than the Ravens can pass it on the Steelers. I think it comes close to 47.5. I mean, it's wishy-washy, but neither one of these – the Ravens are explosive. They're both explosive teams. Division game, they keep it low scoring, probably low 40s, the 24-21 game, which gets really close. But, again, under, and I'll take the Steelers, plus 150.
All right. You are definitely right about that Ravens pass defense. They've given up 20 touchdowns this year. So,
yeah, it's real bad.
You're definitely right about that. That is a scary thought. Hey, that brings me to a little thing that we can also talk about here. We just split it up on this first game.
Yeah.
And we did not talk about our picks. So just to let you know, we do have a segment that we're going to be doing on Fridays now on a pretty regular basis. It's going to be called Change My Mind, where we will pick one of these games that we've gone against each other, and we'll both argue our points a little bit further and see if we can get one of us to switch up our pick and go the other way on that one. So just to let you know what we've got in store a little bit down the line. But, hey, let's get on to this next game. Here it is.
Okay, party people. So we just broke down the Ravens and the Steelers. On to the next game. Now we're going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I call them the Shagwars just because it's funny. Against the Detroit Lions. We all know how this goes. Trevor Lawrence is out of this game. I mean, the Lions are minus 1,000. The spread's 13.5. Over under 46.5. Lions probably score 49 points, and the Jaguars probably score 3. I really don't feel comfortable betting anything in this game. It's going to be a blowout. The Lions just walk away at this game. I mean, I don't even know if Jared Goff's going to play half of the third quarter because the game's probably going to be out of reach that bad. What say you, Brady?
I mean, this is my team here. One of my two teams, and the other one is greatly disappointing me this year. But
this year or every year? I'm confused.
Yeah,
every year since like 2007 or 8. I don't know.
Not every year.
8. I
got to have my NFC and AFC side. But look, I totally agree with you. It's too wide to bet. Don't mess with the minus 1,000 because it is any given Sunday. This is football. Injuries happen. Weirdness happens sometimes. Yeah. So do I think that the Jaguars are going to come out with Mac Jones and beat the 8-1 Lions? No. Nope. Not at all. And they're probably going to cover this spread, to be quite honest with you. What?
Yeah, I was going to say real quick, we preach about, the 7.5, 8-point spreads. The large spreads, you definitely want to hammer usually. This one, you don't want to touch because the Jaguars are not going to touch this spread. This game is going to be a blowout. don't even think about it. They're not competitive at all, especially without Trevor. Yeah. They're barely competitive with Lawrence. Without him, no way.
Now, if I was going to take something, which I can't say that I'm not going to do something with the Lions, like the running backs.
Oh,
I think they're good all day long. I think Gibbs
yeah,
should be good for a lot of yards. Montgomery should run it down their throat. I don't see him stopping them on defense at all.
Yeah, me either.
Lions are going to roll in this. The only thing that you probably have to worry about is late in the game. If you're looking at something that you've bet over in yards in some way, shape, or form, you may see the starters get taken out earlier
early.
In the game. Yeah. And you may not hit your bet. So just be aware of that. Lions for both of us. Again, not betting this one, but we'll just go right on to the next game because we are done with this one.
Yeah.
All right, here we are with the next game. We have the Los Angeles Rams going to the New England Patriots. Rams 4-5, Patriots 3-7. Rams are sitting -215 on that money line. Patriots +180, -5.5 spread. Sorry, I forgot that 0.5 on that other side there. But when I'm breaking this game down, I honestly, Josh, for a second, I know I've been preaching and preaching and preaching. When I saw this number, I started for a split second. I was like, wait a minute. Maybe this is the time. Maybe this is the time that I take those Patriots, even though I've been dogging them all year. But then I slapped myself in the face real quick, and I was like, no.
Hopefully really hard.
Thinking.
Hopefully really hard.
Yeah, listen, I was like, look, this team is not good. The Patriots are not good. Drake May has made them a little bit more respectable. It's still youth. Sean McVay is still a coach that's he's going to know how to get to a rookie quarterback. The rookie quarterback is good. Drake May's good. He's shown that he's got a little bit of something. I don't know what it is because, again, not a big enough sample size for me until you get to like that 4th game, 5th game, 6th game in where teams really get a chance to break you down a little bit more. It comes down to coaching for me. Plain and simple. The game, you've got Sean McVay on one side, and he's too good. He's going to figure out a way to beat this team easily. I think they handle him pretty easily. I think the passing game rolls, the running game rolls. The defense will stop these guys. I don't think there's much of a threat on the side of the Patriots. So for me, this is an easy pick on the Los Angeles Rams. I'm taking the road dogs in this one. Josh, what do you think?
Well, I'm actually going the exact opposite because teams traveling across country. First of all, I hate saying the LA Rams. Still just a knife in the heart. Might give our viewers a little inkling on where I'm from. But anyway, West Coast teams traveling to the East Coast, they struggle not all the time, but the majority of the time. More often than not, they struggle. And the Patriots showed me a lot of moxie going into Chicago last week, and not beating them, they stomped them. And I get Caleb Williams is not Matt Stafford, and Matt Eberflus is going to be looking for a job soon. And to your point, Sean McVay is a really, really good head coach. But watching what the Dolphins did to the Rams on Monday night in that complete and total dismantling tells me that the Rams they're not there either. They're no world beaters. Yes, they have offensive pieces. I got Cooper Kupp on my fantasy team, so please have a great game. But I think the Patriots win this game. I would take the plus 180 money line. If you're not feeling that they're going to win the game, then I definitely bet the plus 5.5 spread because they're going to cover the spread. And I would bet them to win the game.
Okay. All right. I don't see it at all. I think even though, yes, Dolphins did, I wouldn't say they dismantled them necessarily because there wasn't much going on in that game for at least the first half of it.
It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty for the Rams, though. It wasn't pretty. The Dolphins are not world beaters either. It was not pretty.
It wasn't, but also the Bears suck. Plain and simple right now. They're terrible.
True.
And
It's
just
true.
because you came out and looked good against the Bears,
Yeah.
the Bears and the Rams, the Bears, one, are horribly coached. Like dog shit. So for you to beat a team that's dog shit coached, that to me is, I'm good with taking the Rams still. And I think, like I said, they're going to roll right over this team. I don't see it. I think when you got two of the elite wide receivers in this game, and you on the other side of the ball, the rookie quarterback, to me, it just one and one makes two.
It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out for sure.
It will, and that is a little bit wide of a spread, but I totally get it. So this might be one of the ones. Who knows, people?
We might pick this game for you guys to revisit on Friday night for our Change My Mind segment. We'll see.
That's gonna be fun. All right, we'll get on to the next game.
Okay, so on to the next game: the Cleveland Brownies versus the New Orleans Saints. 2-7 for the Browns, 3-7 for the Saints. I think the loser of this game, their fans are going to be the brown paper bag fans for the rest of the year because both teams are not good, obviously. Jameis Winston revenge game, if you will. I actually like the Saints in this game with the money line. The spread is 1 point. I mean, I won't touch that. But the money line, I like the Saints in this game. They're at home. They showed some gumption last week, against the Falcons. They fired their head coach and then came back in, first game without the head coach, without Olave, without Rashid Shaheed. And they traded Marshawn Lattimore, and they kind of laid it on the Falcons. And that tells me that they still have, some pride left, if you will. We all know Winston can throw picks. I think this game's actually going to be pretty high scoring, believe it or not, because both these quarterbacks are going to just sling it around, and the defenses aren't really that good either. So I would definitely bet the Saints. I feel very confident in that money line, and I'd even bet the over on this game too. What do you think, Brady?
Oh, well, I'm just going down the list, and I'm wondering who in the hell is going to catch the ball for the Saints right now.
Taysom Hill.
I mean,
in MVS had 3 catches, 102 yards, and 2 touchdowns last game. Him.
That's going to be quite impressive considering everybody's injured. This game is extremely. I get why it's like a pick 'em. I understand that completely. I know the Saints are, in my eyes, they're a better team at scoring. They're a higher scoring team. They're obviously more equipped to put up points. But I think that this, for some reason, I'm getting the vibe that the Browns can pull this out.
Think the Brownies pull it out, huh?
I do. I honestly do. I think they're, even though it's not a trusted pick, and I would definitely not tell you to take go bet.
I mean,
by
it's
any
kind
means.
of it's a stay away game, but if you feel like betting, he has his opinion, I have mine. It's not something we're gonna put money on, but go ahead, Brady.
No, yeah, definitely. I wouldn't even get close to putting money on this, but this is one of those games that I see. If you can get Chubb back in the mix, get him more comfortable, I think it's a game that you could just completely use your running backs and Ford and Chubb in there, and then I think Foreman's still healthy. With that 3 combo backfield that they've got there, I really and then Winston, he's a more of a threat than Watson to me. So I think I'm going to just go out on a limb, and I'm going to say I'm taking the Browns.
And I can, not argue that point. I'll stick with my Saints pick. The reason why it's also hard too is because both teams have pretty much given up on the year. I mean, the Saints traded Lattimore, the Browns traded Zadarius Smith.
That's true, but you can't tell Jameis Winston that he's given up on the year.
Jameis Winston
playing for a
revenge game.
paycheck. He's like, I'm going to be a starter next year still, man. So I'm going somewhere.
He wants to eat some W. He wants to eat a W. Yeah, but yeah, you can get good money on it because I mean it's bet your gut. There's stats for both sides -110. That's even money basically. I mean you can double your money off if you actually pick the winner. Again, good luck with that. I'm going with the Saints. I give the home team the edge.
Yeah, and like I said, weirdness sometimes prevails some weeks, and I'm going a little bit of the weirdness this week just because of the injuries on the offensive side of the ball. Sometimes when you kind of outkick your coverage of unexpectedness, when you have so many injuries already and then you compound that with more injuries that week, then you come into the next week. I think it's a bad combo. I think the Browns are going to get this one, but we will go right on to the next game. All right, jumping right into this next game. We have my other team here, the Indianapolis Colts.
My other team. Pick a team.
Taking on the New York Jets. Colts 4-6, and the Jets 3-7. It's been a rough year for the Colts. The quarterback change, getting tired and having to be relieved.
I'm going to take a nap.
Tired. I don't really know what to say about that whole situation. You just kind of got to hope. I'm not going to dog the kid yet because he is young, and you got to hope that kind of stuff will work itself out eventually. I don't know. I don't know what the deal was, but whatever. He is going to be our starter again for this game. And I always like to have hope that we can get something done here. We have lost, 3 straight games.
Hope and a prayer.
A losing streak there. But money line plus 160, Jets minus 190. For a team like the Jets, who have underperformed all year, for me, this one's a little bit wide. I know that people might end up saying you're biased about this because this is one of your teams, but listen, we still have a running game, and the Jets, we've seen the Jets totally just flounder on both sides of the ball in games. So even though I would love to say, hey, I'm going to pick the Colts in this one. Look, I know we're on a 3-game losing streak. We got Anthony Richardson coming back. Maybe I'm hoping that I'm wrong about this pick. I'm not going to bet this because I don't want to bet against my team. But in this particular matchup, I have to think that the Jets are at some point they'll get it together. This is a home game. Aaron Rodgers has done well. The last home game, he did well. I'm going to say the Jets will take this one. Unfortunately, it's too early for me to jump on the Anthony Richardson bandwagon. He has not shown me that he can throw the ball at a competent level yet, and his decision-making is pretty bad. Yeah. So I'm just going to go out on a limb. The only way we're going to win this game is if Jonathan Taylor runs all over him and they get back to an offensive game plan that allows Anthony Richardson to open up more on his legs. Because for some reason, it's like they tried to take away the ability for him to run and have him throw more. And I don't understand that because he's huge. He's fast. He adds another element to the game. Use him. I've never seen, he can't throw the ball yet. I haven't seen that type of talent. So use everything that you have, make him more of that dual threat, give him plays that get him out in the open, give him the chance to run it. It's like he just stopped running the ball there for a long stretch and he was not able to overcome it with his passing ability. So in this, unfortunately, it's too early for me to trust Anthony Richardson coming back. New York Jets is my pick. What you say, Josh?
Same. I mean, yeah, the Jets laid an egg, a big egg. They did not take off in Arizona at all. They got grounded by the Cardinals for sure. And both these teams are in disarray. I mean, Anthony Richardson is bad at the throwing of the football, which again I think a quarterback should be good at, but a 44% completion percentage is not good. They should have more designed runs for him. The reason why they don't, I think, because he keeps getting hurt on them, because he won't get down because he is so big and he thinks that he can just bowl everybody. Dude, you have to, slide or get your yards and then get out of bounds or whatnot. Anyway, this game, it's two teams that are going nowhere. They're more about franchises right now, especially the Jets. The Jets at home win this game. I mean, I don't really – you want to bet the money line, cool. Anything else in this game, I would stay away from because it's just too wishy-washy. There's just neither one of these teams are consistent. I mean, the Colts could come out and stomp the Jets or vice versa. There's no consistency to actually get a gauge on where they are. And the Jets look completely disinterested last week against the Cardinals. So I agree with you. Jets win this game. That's pretty much all there is to say about this game. Both teams suck against defending the run, so they're going to run the ball a lot. JT and Breece Hall are just going to pound.
Whoever runs it further, faster. That's
if the coaches are smart, that's what they should do. Just run the ball, because both quarterbacks are struggling. So, yeah.
Hey, barring injury, though, I do see Hall and Taylor. I think they both have good games.
I agree with that. I think this is going to be Breeze's – whoever selected Breece Hall in fantasy, and he was, 1, 2, or 3 pick.
Keep in mind, this could be a game, too, that you see a little bit of Braylon Allen.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you've seen him here and there, but this is going to be Breeze's Hall best game of the year, I think.
Yeah.
And maybe JT's, too, because the Jets – again, it's just – if you're going to bet the game, the winner, take the Jets.
Yeah.
And then let's move on to the next game. Because it's like, eh.
Yep. Here we go. On to the next.
All right, so on to the 7-2 Minnesota Vikings against the 2-7 Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. This game to me is really intriguing because the Vikings played the Jaguars in Jacksonville last week. Did not look good. It was Sam Darnold reverted back to his old self. It was bad. And the Jaguars didn't even have, Trevor Lawrence. I thought the Vikings the first 4 weeks of the year, 5 weeks of the year, they were doing very, very well. Their defense was lighting teams on fire, confusing the best teams in the league. Brock Purdy and the Niners beat them. Granted, it was in Minnesota. I thought the Vikings were the real deal. However, it definitely had a bit of apprehension because of who the quarterback is, and that is coming to fruition. So this is the big spread, 6 points for the Vikings when they just barely beat Mac Jones and the Jaguars by 5 points. The Titans, I get their quarterback woes too. The Titans have something the Jaguars don't have, which is a better defense. And I really love the Titans to cover the spread. I mean, the Vikings have a really good defense as well. They've kind of fallen back down to earth recently. But they're not blowing teams out. They're on the road. It's Sam Darnold. No offense to him. He started off hot, but again, mid-season, he's fallen back into his same old stuff he's been, and this is why he's not a franchise quarterback. You can only throw to Justin Jefferson so many times, and he threw 3 picks targeting Justin Jefferson last week. Titans cover the spread. I don't know if they win the game, but my money, and I'm going to bet the spreads. Again, the 6-point spread, Titans at home, they cover the spread. Absolutely. That's my favorite bet of this game. And actually, we say we love the 6-7 point spreads. Most NFL games are close. I'll take the Titans and cover that spread all day long. What about you, Brady?
One, I will say this. because the Vikings had such a lackluster performance last week on offense, and from what you have seen lately out of the Titans defense, I think just right off the bat, that 39.5 to me seems like a little bit of a low number. I think you're getting a discount because in my eyes, when I look at the Titans, again, yes, you played the Jaguars last week. Or I'm sorry, you played the Chargers last week. But when you're playing some of these better teams, obviously you're not winning these games. And I think I'm going to boil this down to the Vikings had a hiccup. You still have elite pieces on that team.
Yeah.
And they score. And when I'm looking at some of the other opponents that the Titans have played this year, out of that division, the Packers beat up on them pretty bad. The Lions absolutely destroyed them.
Yeah.
I think that the Vikings are going to do the exact same thing. But
okay.
I'll say this. In both of those games, they went over this 39.5. So
yeah.
I think you are getting a very big discount on the 39.5, to be quite honest with you, because Will Levis proved last week. I don't know. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback, but 175 yards and 2 touchdowns, that's not terrible. I mean,
against the Chargers, right?
Chargers, yeah.
Yeah. On the road too. That's a solid line, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. The Titans score on the ground. That's their main mode, and they're not even very good there. But the Vikings are extremely good at stopping you on the ground. They don't give up much there. And I think anytime you make a team such as the Titans, a one-sided team, where they only have one mode to get it done, and you're depending on Will Levis to be that one mode of getting it done, I think you're in trouble. The Vikings, they have plenty of weapons. Jefferson, Addison, Jones, Darnold, he can get it done. Make no mistake, and I think he will get it done. I think there's deficiencies with the Titans. I don't think they're that good, even at home. I think the Vikings are going to come in, and they're going to beat them. You may be okay on this spread, to be quite honest with you, but I honestly, I would highly look at that 39.5, and being where I am, you know how I like to alter those spreads. I'd take that thing down to like a over under 33.5 or something like that. It seems like you're probably still going to get a decent number on it. And I think that's what I would do if I was going to bet this. I obviously probably wouldn't. Actually, I probably would just bet in a parlay. I'd probably bet the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to take the Vikings on the money line.
Okay. Well, to your point of using the alternate over-under, how about why wouldn't it be a bad idea to take the Titans at an alternate spread, go to 10 points?
You mean a team total?
No, take the Titans on the spread. Can't you change it?
You can bust that up. I think that both
take
teams,
it to 10 and then.
I mean, yeah.
I feel really confident. I feel really confident if you can bump that to 10, take the over/under down to like 35.
But I think there's always a possibility. The reason I don't like it as much as the over/under is because both of the other teams from this division, I feel are on par with this team right now, the Vikings. And I think they all didn't have any problem, one, going over 39.5, and two, stomping the Titans. I just look at it that way. I think it may not be, it's kind of that like just going on what I'm seeing across the board. What division is better? This division is definite. The Vikings division is 10 times better.
Agreed. And I see your point too. But one thing I'll say is the Packers have Jordan Love. The Lions have Jared Goff. The Vikings have Sam Darnold, who is showing his true colors. Now,
one game?
For one game? And I believe in my personal opinion, the Vikings have a great coaching staff. Kevin O'Connell knows what he's doing. I think he's the best coach in the NFC North. So you might have a point there. I just think Sam Darnold, his deficiencies are going to show up, and he's got more than Jordan Love, and he has more than Jared Goff. So the Vikings win the game. I agree with you there. I just don't think they'd run away with it. I would bet the spread on this one. And if you can take it to 10 points, definitely hammer that.
The one thing I'll say, Sam Darnold was a limited participant in practice, so
yeah,
that could definitely change the whole outlook of the game. But if he plays, look, he has regularly thrown 2 touchdowns or more all season long. I'm not going to discredit the guy after he's played 9 games and he's had 1 game where he had a shit game. 0 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. If I did that with every quarterback, I'd basically be doing that with every single one of them. But
Jared Goff threw 5 last week, so yeah, there's that.
Anytime that I see a quarterback that has had 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, and then 1, and then finally hit the 0.
Yeah.
There's only been one other time this year that he's hit the 0, and he came right back that next game and threw at least 1 touchdown. So he may not be barn burners, but I would definitely take him and put it in a parlay again for 1 touchdown for Sam Darnold. If he plays, keep the injury news in mind because I don't know if he's going to play. That always is going to play into it too. So, but hey, I'm taking the Vikings. You taking the +6 spread on the Titans?
Yeah, I'm taking the Titans to cover the spread for sure.
All right, cool. I get it. Let's we'll move on to the next one. Okay, here we are. We've got the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Miami Dolphins. 2-7 Raiders, 3-6 Dolphins. Got +270 on the money line for the Raiders, -340 for the Dolphins, +7 spread for the Raiders side. Over under is 44.5. Man, this is one of those games again, dude. I hate. Even though the Dolphins are the home and have been playing pretty crappy themselves, man, the Raiders on a 5-game losing streak, or is it more now? Oh my God!
And the losing streak too.
Yeah. I thought it was
the losing streak gets me too. Yeah, it's like, oh man.
Is it? Are they on? Is it 5 games now, or more? Let me look.
Yeah, let's get the exact number. I thought it is 5. I think I saw it was 5.
I think it's just 5. Find out right here. Yes, 5-game losing streak for the Raiders right now. Man, even though the Dolphins are not much better here right now, it seems like I don't know what's going on with them, honestly. They look pretty horrible, I think, last week. They couldn't get anything going. It was a slow night. The passing game was terrible. Both quarterbacks were getting just chewed up by the defensive lines. Nothing was working. I don't know what was going on with the run game either. You have, I guess, I don't know, is Mostert completely – he must have done something to somebody – one of the coaches must have egged their car, TP'd their house. I don't know what the hell goes on, but that dude barely touched the ball. I didn't hear of any injury news. I was expecting.
He had fumbles in back-to-back games.
I had him in for 11 yards.
I know. And McDaniel said that, he wasn't punished for fumbling in back-to-back games, but I mean, he had 2 catches, so you threw it to him, but you didn't hand it off to him against the Rams. So I don't know.
Non-existent as far as the running game goes. I don't know what was going on there, but I really, really, really hate picking against a team that is on a 5-game losing streak. I really do, because just like you always say, especially in football, it's hard to lose that many games in a row. But
it is.
Seeing as the Dolphins are equally on that, hey, we need to win. We have to have a win. they're not going to be able to keep up with their division. I don't think the only chance that they may have would be to get a wild card. But at this point, who even knows? Tyreek Hill is questionable right now.
Mm-hmm.
The +7 spread, to me, that's a little wide. Honestly, the Dolphins have been in some very, very close games, and they don't really close games very well. They win at home, but they don't always close these games out very well. So, again, this is a perfect opportunity for me when I see that you got a +7 spread, and I know that I can take that thing even further up. That's a perfect opportunity for me to take a higher spread on it and trust that the Raiders can at least keep it within spitting distance. So with this particular one, I am going to take +7 spread on the Raiders side, though. That'll be my official pick out of these numbers here. But again, I would alter that spread and push it even further back. I like to add at least like 6 onto it. So if you push it back, get it in that range. I wouldn't disagree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, a 5-game losing streak, we know in the NFL, and in a lot of sports, most teams don't lose 5 games in a row, even the bad ones. And the Ravens have already gone to the East Coast, and they beat the Ravens in Baltimore earlier. I mean, how they're this bad, I mean, they just are. So it is what it is. The Dolphins, like you said, they can't get anything going on offense. Now, they're scoring a lot of points. I mean, with Tua back, and they're scoring 27 points a game until Monday night. And Tyreek's injured. Tyreek didn't do a whole lot on Monday night because his wrist injury is affecting him. You notice they were going to Jalen Waddle a lot. They really used A-Chain a whole lot. So to your point, yeah, I mean, coming off a 5-game losing streak, I don't know if the Raiders win this game, but we hammered the spreads, the 7-point spreads. That's just, and these teams are very even. I mean, you can argue the talent-wise and the coaching-wise.
Unless Tua hits a hot streak.
Yeah, I mean, so like I can see this game being a close game, and both teams I think are going to score points. Gardner Minshew has his flaws as a quarterback, obviously. That's why he's not, a franchise quarterback. But he also has games where he scores points. The Dolphins' defense has been better recently.
He's gutsy.
Yeah, exactly. He's gutsy. So I can see my favorite line in this game is definitely the spread. I mean, I would pick the Raiders to cover the spread all day long. And especially like Brady said, if you want to alternate spread it and go to 10 points, oh, yeah. And then parlay with something else, do that. Yeah. Raiders cover the 7 points. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so too. Both in agreement there. All right, we have one more game on this slate. We are going to jump right into that next game coming right up.
Okay, party people. So on to the next game. We have the Green Bay Packers going to the Chicago Bears. Bears 4-5, Packers 6-3. I think we all saw what happened to the Bears last week at home when the talent bereft Patriots came in and just laid them.
My favorites.
Yeah, right. I don't even know what you call that. I mean, Caleb Williams took 9 sacks against a team that's literally bereft of talent in the Patriots. I don't even know what the Bears are doing on offense or defense. I mean,
neither do they.
Right, they don't. They just fired their OC, and now you got a divisional game. The Packers coming in, who are, definitely in the wild card hunt. They're not going to catch the Lions to, claim the division title, but they're going to make the playoffs most likely. So the Bears are just all over the place. They don't know what's going on. I mean, it's a big spread for a divisional game. I just think the Bears are completely lost. This is probably the game that is going to.
Did you hear who the OC is they brought in?
Actually, I did not. Mike Martz?
He's Bryce Young's old OC.
Bryce Young. Who's that?
Fuck, what's his name?
From Carolina or from?
Yeah, Carolina.
Oh, Frank Reich.
No, it's not Frank.
Oh, that was the head coach.
Hold on. I don't know. I was getting information on that. Yeah, it's regardless. It doesn't matter.
It's not going to matter.
Look what he did with Bryce Young.
The Bears are going south. The Packers are hoping to go north. Jordan Love, I think, is getting healthy. The practice reports are he's coming out good. So, yeah, the Packers honestly run away with this game. The Bears' O-line is so bad. I mean, they can't stop a nosebleed. It's really bad. I mean, the Patriots had 9 sacks. 9. And the Patriots aren't even that good. Brady's been saying it all year. They're terrible. You give up 9 sacks to them. Now you got the Packers coming in, who are actually a functional organization at this point in time, more so than the Patriots are. Yeah, the Packers win this game going away. I don't even – I mean, if you want to bet this, cool. I'm not betting anything on this game. The Packers win the game. Hands down. I mean, there's really nothing else to say. I do the money line in the Packers and then parlay it with something else to get closer to plus odds to try to make more money.
Yeah, I will not be picking the Bears in this one at all. Definitely, I agree with you on that one. I think a money line bet with this, and I mean, I'd have to go back and look to kind of pair it up right and get the exact numbers to get you plus odds, because again, one of those spread bets that we talked about would be ideal, I think, with this. And I think it'd be a great 2-piece that would get you, they'd probably get you in the plus odds there, maybe even plus 150. And you could probably piece that together and make some decent return on that. But yeah, I cannot see I don't see Green Bay losing this game after obviously losing their last game.
Yeah.
They're always competitive. They always, even when they look like they might be out of it through the first half, they always seem to come out and do what has to be done and get it done for the most part. Yeah. And obviously weren't getting it done against the Lions, but
no. You know. Well, and I was gonna say, like, Matt LaFleur is, I'm not gonna say he's underrated because he's been around for a while. He's a really good coach.
Good. He's really good.
Yeah, look what he's done when Jordan Love missed games. I mean, he made Malik Willis look, competent at quarterback. And they won games.
Unbelievable. That's where I was like, wow. Yeah. That's pretty amazing that you can do something like that.
Yeah. So when it comes to like a closer matchup, tie goes to the coaching, in my opinion. Well, talent-wise, Green Bay has them. Scheme-wise, coaching-wise, Eberflus is just trying. He's holding on by a thread, by the hair of his chinny chin chin, to his job. And his job is – the Bears have never fired a coach in season, which Brady pointed it out to me. That's an unbelievable stat. I don't want to see anybody lose their job. I'm not saying that. But the Bears are doing Caleb Williams and their skill players, their whole team, no favors. They actually had
the skill players.
Yeah, they do. And they actually had a mutiny, like almost mutiny, where I read there were veteran players going to Eberflus and Poole, the GM, saying, hey, man, we should maybe even bench Caleb Williams. And then Eberflus is like, no, I'm going to put Shane Waldron in the booth instead of on the field. And they're like, no, that's probably not going to be enough. And he's like, okay, then I'll just fire him. So he doesn't have any idea. I'm again not knocking the guy. It's hard to coach the NFL. I'm not a coach of the NFL. I get it, but the Bears, with the talent they have, should be better than they are. They're not. They're going down. The Packers need this win to stay in the wild card hunt. They're going to win this game. That's pretty much cut and dry.
Yeah. I don't see it going any other way. Honestly, though, it's football. Obviously, we're here to try and present what we think is going to happen, but ultimately,
Oh yeah, any given Sunday, man.
To me, this is one of the safest money line bets of the week.
Yeah,
Even though again, Bears on a little bit of a losing streak.
Mhm.
Again, it's a rookie quarterback, and when it comes to rookie quarterbacks, especially high picks, sometimes you kind of expect that because
Yes,
the
of course.
pressure that they're dealing with. But here's the truth, honestly, and I told people this at the beginning. I don't think that Caleb Williams is that great. I'm not a big. I don't think he's. I don't know. There's something about his attitude on. I don't think it's like a full on there, and I don't know. It to me it just I don't jibe with it.
Well,
But
I mean, to your point, I'd be interested in the interviewing process since the Bears had the number one pick, and now we're off the game. We all know the Packers. We're all picking the Packers to win, or at least Brady and I are.
mhm.
So, to your point, real quick, like in the interview process, did he really stand out that much more than Jaden Daniels did? Like in interviewing, and I know they make him break down
No,
plays. They do a lot of different things. And look what Jaden Daniels did in college. So to me, I said at the draft, they should take Jaden Daniels. He's better.
I think
And,
it was
and
a little bit of a popularity pick.
yeah, and it's not revisionist history. We weren't doing videos then, but I've been watching football for a very long time. I just thought Jaden Daniels was
I
a
think
better quarterback.
just like anybody who's ever, played a season of Madden or something like
Yeah.
that, you fall in love when you're scouting these players, and then you want to draft them, and you read
And
those
he
little
comes out a
tattoos.
D, and you're like, "How does he D? Look
Yeah,
at all his intangibles. I spent all
yeah,
his
you
Madden
get
cards."
caught up in the name.
Right, got a
I think it
D.
was they're like, wait,
Yeah.
gotta be him. It's gotta be
Yep.
him.
So
That's what
those are our
everybody else is telling us.
exactly. So those are our picks for the noon games. Hopefully you guys follow them. Hit a like and subscribe. Remember, ball in to ball out.
That's right, baby. Hey, by the way, don't forget we are coming back. We're gonna give you a little bit of this new betting way. So stay with us. Watch the next episodes coming up. Hang with us. We'll have our bets in for this Thursday game now. Like we said, we were going to. We gave you our picks in that game the last time we were on here. We're gonna come back and give you a little bit of that betting breakdown. We have a little bit of a surprise. So stay tuned if you're still with us. Other than that, have a great night. We will see you next time. Peace.
Deuces.